Hey, music lovers, welcome to Musical Miles Podcast. I'm your host, Byron Duffin, and I am here with my new friend, Luke Hoffstaetter.
Yes, sir.
Luke hangs his hat in Colorado, southern Colorado, in the San Luis Valley, in the town of Monte Vista.
Yep.
I have driven the roads of Monte Vista and met a ton of those cool farmers down there. Man, there's a lot of great people in that valley.
Yeah.
San Luis Valley is the only other place that's almost as famous as Idaho for potatoes.
Yep.
Yeah, we know a lot of people down there and spend a lot of time there. So anyway, I was excited to hear you're from there, and then we can really relate. Farm boys.
Right.
Right? I'm an Idaho farm boy that always wanted to be a cowboy, and you're a Colorado farm boy that always wanted to be a famous musician.
Right.
All right. Well, cool.
Thanks.
Well, welcome. We are in Sun Valley, Idaho at the Valley Music Fest. This is such a cool deal. Levi and Liv have worked their butt off for the last several months putting this together, and it's the first one, and they brought in 50 bands.
Yeah.
Is this the biggest event you've ever done?
Oh, yeah. I think the biggest before this was probably just at a bar. And
Okay.
20, 30 people, or even at church back in high school.
How'd you get found?
So Levi's younger sister, Mackenzie, worked at a bar in Mackey, Idaho.
Yeah.
And my we started going there a lot, and then I told her I sang.
You started going to Mackey.
Yeah, so I live in Moore now.
Oh, you
Idaho.
told me that.
Yeah.
You live in Moore.
So I live in Moore now, and we started going to Mackey quite a bit, and she was like, hey, you should talk to my brother. He's putting on a festival this year, and so he had me sing for him at the bar there one night, and he was like, yeah, dude, you're in.
Cool.
I was like, awesome.
Well, that's cool because another one of those not what you know, who you know kind of deals. So I saw this was happening, reached out to Levi, said, look, we do a music podcast. We travel around and interview the artists. We would love to come and cover your event. What are the odds of getting some media passes? And he said, well, first of all, how are you related to Brady Duffin? And I said, well, Brady's my nephew. And he said, well, Brady's wife was my best friend growing up, Sydney McKelvey, from Mackey.
Yeah.
Right. So small world, right?
Right.
And so we visited for 20 or 30 minutes. He was like, I was at Lacey's wedding. That's Brady's sister. I know your brother and your sister-in-law. And anyway, it was just kind of like an old home week.
I see. That's awesome.
I tell everybody, look, there's that 7 degrees of separation. Mine's more like 2.
Yeah.
I can connect the dots pretty fast.
Right.
With lots of people. So now I know you're in Moore. We'll have to, you need to ease on into Idaho Falls. Some things we're working on, just so you know, because now you're close, make sure we have each other's phone numbers. I want to do, have you ever been to a listening room?
I don't believe so.
A listening room is very much like a songwriter round, but we went to the Redbird in New Braunfels, Texas, and we've been to the Listening Room Cafe in Nashville. But they literally set up on stage 3 or 4 songwriters, tell a story, and then talk about the song and kind of set it up, and then they play the song and sing it. Now, we've talked, you're not a guitar player, right? But you're soon to be, right? If I can learn to play the guitar, the difference between you and I is that you can sing and I can't. My wife gets mad at me when I say I can't sing, but I really can't. My voice has gone bad over the last few years, but should have took better care of myself if I knew I was going to live this long. I wouldn't be this old and fat, right? I'd just be older. So, but no, we're gonna try and set some deals up. There's some really great musicians in Idaho Falls, and in fact, one of them you're working with today, Judd.
Yep,
Judd, and he works with a kid, Kyle Deedy.
Yeah.
And Kyle, have you met Kyle?
I've heard about him, and he also works with Paige.
Yeah, Paige Ann.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother story. So, great. There's some great people, great musicians there in Idaho Falls, and we're just 10 miles south of there. So we're in Shelley.
Okay.
So we're close, but we're going to work on doing some things that haven't been done to my knowledge in Idaho Falls, but I want to do some like listening room type deals and some songwriter rounds.
Okay.
And I want to do a songwriter festival. So I want to bring in some big time songwriters out of Nashville. We've been really, really blessed we've probably interviewed 30 major songwriters that have multiple number ones, which is now we have access to those guys to come. And
Right.
it's no different than coming to a festival for a headliner, right?
Right.
If someone knows that Paul Overstreet or Dean Dillon's going to be there, or Bryce Long or Marla Cannon Goodman, then they when they know the songs they wrote, then they go, oh, because they'll have to have people tell me, Byron, I don't know these people you're interviewing. I said, no, but you know their songs,
Right.
You know their music.
You've heard them, yeah.
So, but anyway, so tell me, number one, how the hell did you end up in Moore, Idaho from Monte Vista?
So I actually went to school at Northwest Nazarene University in Nampa, Idaho.
Uh-huh.
Was there for 2 years and absolutely loved Idaho, but hated school. So I moved back home, went back to farming, and then decided last year that I wanted to go back to Idaho, and found a job as a ranch manager in the middle of nowhere and decided to take it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing like, listen, when I was young like you, how old are you? 22, 23?
23, yeah.
Yeah, so we were young. I was married, but I always wanted to be a horse trainer. So we hit the trail and we worked, spent our winters in Arizona working for big time horse trainers and just trying to learn the business. And then we just kind of bounced around. We moved 11 times the first 5 years we were married.
Oh, wow.
So about every 6 months. And so I can relate, but let me tell you what, there's guys back home in Monte Vista that you went to school with, they're sitting there going, man, I wish I had his balls. I wish I could do what Luke could do. And when I came back after being gone, I lived in Arizona and California and Texas and around, and had some buddies tell me, they said, at least you had the guts enough to leave.
Right.
And it's not easy, right? No. So how long you been in Moore?
Just almost about a year now.
Okay.
So
you suffered a winter.
Yeah.
And
supposedly it wasn't that hard.
No, it's this next one's potentially, according to the Farmer's Almanac, supposed to be bad. So I wish you the best of luck. So is this a cow-calf operation?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we got 1,500 acres of irrigation.
Okay. So you get to farm too?
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, good. And sing to the cows.
Yeah, it's actually funny. The first week or two that I was up there, I was messing around in the pasture where they were at and got out of the tractor and started singing Amazing Grace, and they all came
and listened.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
At a concert.
I'd seen
videos
you
record
about it. Oh yeah, I have pictures and videos of it.
Oh, that's cool.
I had seen this online with like people with sheep and stuff, and I was like, man, I should try this, and it actually worked.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So so what you're thinking? You gonna be a long-time ranch manager, or are you thinking you're hoping the music career really takes off?
I'm hoping the music career takes off. I gone through a lot of stuff this past year. It's been a very difficult year, and especially a very difficult last month in my life. And I'm kind of to the point where, why not? Why not? I'd rather go chase the dream and then 10 years from now be like, man, at least I tried.
Well, I'm here to tell you I did it. Not music, but with the horse deal. And, I got to show in some great places, Fort Worth, Texas at the NCHA Futurity and the Pacific Coast Derby. And, I got to ride and got to meet and ride with some of the greatest cutting horse trainers in the business. And I'm glad I did it.
Right.
Would I do it again? Maybe not, but maybe I'd do it a little bit different. Maybe stick it out a little longer. I did it for 5. And if I'd have done it for 10, I probably could have, because I have some good friends that did the same time I did, and they're Hall of Famers, and I think I could have done that, but you never know, and so you don't know if you're going to be a Hall of Fame songwriter. You don't know if you're going to get that number one.
Right.
You don't know what's going to happen. But
this episode is sponsored by Close. With over 10 years of experience crafting hand-built composite instruments, Close provides the widest selection of premium carbon fiber instruments in the world, from acoustics to ukuleles, electrics and basses, even mandolins. When picking an instrument, Close doesn't want you to have to make a choice between performance and portability. These instruments stay in tune and intact, whether you're hopping venues or cresting mountains. Every Close instrument is plecked, which means you'll get low action and buttery smooth playability each time you pick up your instrument. Check out Close to find instruments you'll not only take with you, but ones you won't want to leave behind.
one thing I can tell you and promise you is nothing will happen if you don't make it happen.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
even this podcast, I said I walked into a meeting July 1st last year, and the owners of the company looked at me and said, I was the brand president. And they said, Byron, we can't afford you anymore. And so what do?
Right.
You go start a podcast, right? And so, but a lot of my friends and people I know, they're like, well, how do you get these interviews? I said, man, you just got to ask.
Right.
You saw me talking to Kobe here a minute ago. 6 months ago, I reached out to Kobe. He was going to be here in Idaho playing a gig somewhere, and they turned me down. And I sent him another email. It was either last night or this morning. And I just said, look, I've sent you an email, and he pulled his phone out a little shocked. But he's not always in control of all his media stuff. Right. So, but I just said, look, I would love to sit down and interview you. Yeah, I'm down. How hard is it to ask? Right. Now I've had to pull some strings with some people to get Dean Dillon's interview and Paul Overstreet's interview. Doesn't help it helps to be connected to a guitar company or to a successful songwriter whose dad was best friends with Dean Dillon. So, those things help, right?
Helps to know people.
But it's what I told my children, and I have all my kids are all older than you. My youngest is 25, but, I always told them their whole lives, look, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
So get to know as many people as you can.
Exactly.
Right? And you never know the guy that, you might be surprised who I can introduce you to.
Right.
Or whatever, and so, or that someone's going to see this. We just had our conversation with, Cody, Glenn Cox, and Cody, he opens for Randy Travis.
Right.
I said, how does that happen? He goes, I was doing a nightly TikTok.
Yep.
And I did not want to do it this night, but I thought, I got to do it. Be consistent. Just do it. And Randy Travis showed up.
Yep.
And watched him. And next thing you know, he's getting a call from Mary and said, would you come open for Randy? That doesn't happen if you do that once a year or once a month, right?
Exactly.
You got to be consistent. We post 3 episodes a week of this podcast. What am I going to do with all the content that I've recorded, right?
Right.
If I don't post it. So we make the effort and post it, and it's slowly but surely we're gaining traction. We're hoping this year we'll have over 1 million views. So that'll be in a year and a half. The second year, it'll be the second full 12 months. But if we can gather up 1 million views, right, that's not something to sneeze at, right?
No, that's impressive. Yeah.
So and the average podcast, how long they last? 6 episodes. 6. We've posted 112.
Yeah. See.
And we're in the top 0.5% of all podcasts ever, as far as volume.
I see.
And
that's impressive.
So
right there.
So the fact that so sometimes now I'm like, Dean Dillon, you ought to sit down with me. I know Dean doesn't need my help, right?
Right.
Eric Pasley doesn't need my help. Billy Montana, they don't need my help. Paul Overstreet, but you won't be embarrassed by me. I promise you that.
Right.
In fact, Dean Dillon goes, well, you're easy to talk to. I said, well, thanks. I'm glad you think so.
Right.
So,
that helps. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but, so what are you thinking? What direction do you go from More Idaho?
It's kind of up to God. I'm just trusting his plan, but possibly closer to Idaho Falls, Pocatello area, or maybe even possibly back to Boise.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Don't necessarily have a time frame yet, but that's kind of where I'm pulling towards.
Okay. And just try and gig more.
Yeah.
And spend some time writing some music.
Yep.
Learning how to play the guitar. I'm going to shame you into that guitar playing stuff.
Yeah, you should.
Let me tell you that your bandmates that are here,
right?
That guy can play the guitar,
right?
I'm sitting in a bar with him in Idaho Falls one night. They're all playing. Heath Clark was playing. Do you know Heath?
Yeah.
Heath's a good friend. Heath was our very first interview on the podcast, but Heath's up there playing, and what's his name? Judd. Judd hands me his electric guitar. He hands it over to me, and I went, dude, you will be so embarrassed. Right. You will die of secondhand embarrassment.
Right, like you don't want me to play this.
So he was cool about it, but it's fun just to it's a little bit like when I was riding cut horses. the more time I spend around those good horse trainers, you become better just by osmosis in some regard.
Exactly.
Same with musicians. I love to watch Jeff Crosby. Jeff Crosby is one of my favorite guitarists because he loves what he does. Have you watched him very much?
Good at it
oh, he's
too,
so good. He's so good. And he's an Idaho boy. So, yeah, you got to love that.
Right.
Got to love that. So, well, cool. So, nothing else is set in stone for you as far as where you're headed. You just kind of a little bit of put some faith and some prayer into it and
just about
see where it goes.
Yeah. It's kind of where I'm at right now.
Cool.
So,
well, you excited to play here?
Oh, absolutely.
Are you nervous?
A little bit, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I used to get nervous and like could feel it.
Yeah.
Now it's like I'm nervous, but like excited.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this opportunity. Cool. It'll be good.
Well, I'm excited for the opportunity for you.
Thank you.
And to get some new fans. And we always become fans of the people we interview because I can't spend my time listening to you talk and not listen to you sing, right? I got to listen to you sing. So do you have some stuff out on Spotify?
I technically have 2 songs. Probably shouldn't listen to one of them. I have another song that's out that's decent, but they're not professionally recorded.
Okay.
So we're trying to get a few more songs plus the songs recorded.
Yeah.
Re-recorded actually in a professional studio.
Sure.
So,
I don't know where Judd and those guys are they doing any recording? I know they've done some stuff with Paige Ann. There's a young lady, man, I wish you'd have been around 2 weeks ago. They had the South Fork Music Fest. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
What a cool little deal. We went out and covered it. And, those guys are so cool. There's a lady out there. Her name is Donnella. Her and her husband, they have a recording studio in their house in Idaho Falls. Sweet lady. Actually have known her mom for 40 some years. Her mom used to live upstairs from my sister in Idaho Falls. And so anyway, but I didn't realize, so they're doing some professional recording there in Idaho Falls in their home. But there's some other places around. But the challenge is that a lot of times it costs so much the recording time, right? So we've helped, if you decide to do something like a GoFundMe or a, Kickstarter to do an album, that's always interesting. We just helped a young lady by the name of Jessica Coy. We're going to see her in 2 weeks in Whitefish, Montana at the Songwriter Festival up there. But I met her in Livingston last year and she was doing a Kickstarter and we helped her. And I think she raised $30,000.
Oh, wow.
And she lives in Nashville. So she's needing $30,000 for Nashville recording time.
Yeah.
That recording time doesn't cost $30,000 everywhere else. So
that's
but,
a few albums here.
Yeah. So anyway, well, Luke, thanks so much for sitting down with us. It's cool to meet you.
It's awesome to meet you too.
We'll look forward to seeing you down the road. Once again, make sure that you have my number before we get out of here. Did you sign those guitars yet?
Yes,
sir. You did sign those. Okay. Yeah. I know listen, I'm going to shame you into learning how to play the guitar. If I can do it, if a Byron can do it, you can. And in fact, do you own a guitar?
I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, grab that one and sign it for me. You're on there with some legends now.
I know.
We would love to sit down with you. And if you come to Idaho Falls, you want to go look at guitars at Teton.
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah, come on with me.
They're pretty.
Oh, they're cool. I'll
have to grab your number.
They have some great guitars. And you get a discount if you buy it through me. So
okay. Yeah.
There you go.
We'll need to do that.
All right.
Thank you, Byron.
Thanks, man. Hey, for Musical Mouse Podcast, I'm your host, Byron Duffin, here at the Valley Music Fest with my new friend, Luke Hoffstaetter. The Colorado kid now makes his home in Idaho. Welcome to God's country.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, we'll see you somewhere down the road. Adios for now.
Awesome, man.